If you thought bleeding in space was bad, hold on tight because there's another peculiar task that comes after all the bleeding and medical interventions: blood collecting. Yep, you heard it right. Once the domed boxes have done their magic and the cosmic splatter show is over, it's time to gather all that precious blood. After all, there are no blood banks conveniently floating around in space, so the logical thing to do is to collect and store the injured astronaut's blood for future use. It's like creating your very own floating blood bank in the vastness of space. Now, you might be wondering if we could just bring existing blood banks from Earth to space. Well, that's where things get tricky. Taking Earthbound blood banks to outer space is a whole different ballgame. The risks and challenges involved might just be astronomical. You see, blood banks already exist on the ground, mainly on cruise ships and in combat zones, but the unique conditions of space make it a whole new level of complexity. Interestingly, in the 90s, space explorers had a different approach. They knew that trying to operate on small cuts in zero gravity was a recipe for disaster. So instead, they simply waited until they returned to Earth for their minor injuries to heal. It seems they had the right idea all along. Space truly has a way of making even the smallest injuries linger until they touch down on solid ground.